Just as Big Sisters. Chapter 5. Shield and Sword. And if I hear one comment about Pokemon Sword and Shield in the comments below, proceed to get a rant. Thank you. Raindrops rested her muzzle on the sill of her bedroom window and stared out into the night. A distant peal of thunder echoed through the air, and when she strained, she could even hear the sounds of rain falling in the evergreen forest. But she knew from the weather schedules it wasn't expected to get anywhere near Ponyville, even if it had storms normally did. Morning would come in just a few hours, at which point Snails and Juggernaut would meet and never fall apart. She didn't know if it was even worth keeping Snails home from school. Juggernaut could just call to Snails from an open window, or put up signs, or somehow lure the countless. Even if the massive pony played fair, Snails couldn't hide in the house forever. He had to go outside sometime, and since Juggernaut was apparently wealthy and obsessed enough to stay in Ponyville indefinitely, she could easily wait days, weeks, or even months until Snails did so. Besides, telling Snails he couldn't get outside would probably scare him almost as much as telling him that Juggernaut wanted to beat her to a pulp because she laid a hoof on Goliath. If she was stronger, she thought, she would have settled this already. A really strong mare could have taken Juggernaut's challenge and pounded her against a couple of rocks, dumped her in a freight car, and shipped her back to Stalliongrad. But Juggernaut was too tough for her. Which meant Raindrops couldn't get rid of her. Which meant she couldn't stop the other mare from hurting Snails or anyone else he chose to. She was supposed to be his protector and guardian, but she couldn't keep one trumped-up mercenary away from him. Raindrops growled softly as he felt shame overselling her. She had failed again, and it was her brother who would pay. She tried to tell herself she thought many enemies that she hadn't been able to deal with on her own, and this hadn't been bothered her before, but it didn't work. Those opponents, the Golem, the Wendigo, the Lids of Tamalon, which, to be fair, actually was more of Corona and Luna winning, and you girls did shit. Nope, still not letting it down. Corona herself were literal monsters. No reasonable pony could expect to beat them alone, so she worked with her friends, used the elements of harmony, and won the day. But Juggernaut wasn't just a monster. She was just a pony. And Raindrops thought that meant she should be able to deal with her before the brute hurt her family. Friends, allies, and contacts in the government couldn't help force Juggernaut out of town, since the other mayor stayed rarely in the law, and so denied him any legal reason to evict her. But that shouldn't have mattered. Raindrops should have been able to deal with the problem. It couldn't. Some pony knocked on the door below. Raindrops' heart thudded against her chest, and wondered if Juggernaut was actually trying to get her at 2 a.m. I realized the knocking was softer than Juggernaut's. She hurried downstairs and opened the door, blinking at the sight of one of her best friends. Carrot Top? Hi, Carrot Top smiled weakly. I know it's really late, but I need some pony to talk to, and, well, you know how Trixie gets when some pony wakes her. Can I please come in for a few minutes? Raindrops nodded and let Carrot Top inside, then shut the door and led the farmer in the kitchen. She lit a couple of candles and put a pot of tea on the gas stove. What's up? Carrot Top slumped her head on the table, her mane spilling over her eyes. Applejack and I spent most of the day trying to compromise on the field. It didn't go well? The other mare shook her head. We tried to find a way to split it fairly, but we couldn't agree on how. I mean, you'd think we could test to cut it in half, but the field's not uniform. There's parts of it that are rockier than others, one's corners near a natural well, and a smaller part of it actually backs right into everfree, so it's not really useful for cultivating most crops. She trailed off. So yes, it didn't go well. Raindrops awkwardly draped her wing over Carrot Top, who leaned into her. The weather mare frowned, not really used to comforting friends in this mare, but just said, About some kind of contest. You both plant flowers or something, and the field goes to whoever gets the more of them to grow. We thought of that too, but the field's too rocky for us to do anything with. Applejack suggested we have the contest be whoever can more of the field to clear faster. But cutting rocks at high speeds is a really easy way to injure yourself. We both have spring harvest coming up soon, and we can't risk breaking our hooves on a rock. We need to hire ponies from out of town, which I guess would be fair since that's part of running a business. But Applejack would have a huge advantage since she could grab the best trust farmers who grow other crops that don't need to be harvested for a few weeks. Besides, that would take days to set up, and Mayor Scrolls needs to make her ruling tomorrow. Oh, they just heard the tea kettle whistle and rose, poured 2 glasses. Well, maybe Scrolls will rule your way. She won't. Raindrops turned to see Carrot Top's long face. I took a break from negotiations so I could get dinner in town, and I ran into Charity. She may have convinced me she would break into Mayor Scroll's office to check her notes. We did. She's already written her speech for tomorrow when she gives the field to Applejack. Carrot Top sighed. Applejack could produce more revenue from the field. More revenue means more sales tax. That's what happened last summer when Corona attacked Ponyville with that party spell, and the Night Court almost didn't pay the 900,000 bits we needed to fix the Dharmas. She wants to increase the town's emergency funds in case that the government screws up again. Carrot Top's muzzle sank down the table. I know this isn't like the last time I went up against Applejack, she said. I won't go bankrupt if I just give in. But I don't want to give in. I always roll over and let other ponies have what they want. But this time I wanted it to be different. I wanted to stand up for myself and win, instead of being like the other me from that other Equestria. The one who gave up, sold her farm to Applejack, and became an alchemist. I thought she was happy with her life, said Raindrops. She was, and that's fine. I mean, she's a great pony, and there's nothing wrong with her life. But it's not the one I want. Carrot Top looked at Raindrops with steady eyes. I'm a farmer. I want to grow things. That's my special talent, and it's what I love to do. I really wanted some more land to do it with. I'd be happy if I got a little bit of the field. As long as I got something I could grow with new plants. Maybe some magic herbs, so I won't go to the Everfree and wrestle Ursas every time I want to mix up a potion. Raindrops was silent. I'm sorry, she said at last. Is there any way I can help? Probably not. Carrot Top sipped her tea. But if you listen to me while I complain, then I'll feel better. That's something, right? Raindrops smiled at her friend. I can do that. They drank tea in silence for a few moments before Raindrops asked, Applejack doesn't really need the field, does she? Maybe this is just revenge for when you thrashed her at the farming competition last year. Carrot Top immediately shook her head. She wouldn't do that, she said. She's not a bad man. We made up when we both went to Feisty Poussin's birthday, remember? Still, she's got more than enough land already. I can't imagine she couldn't buy a field which isn't covered in rocks if she really wanted to expand. Maybe she's just taking it because she knows you want it. If she wanted to do that, said Carrot Top, she wouldn't negotiate with me. She just hoped that Mayor Scrolls ruled her way and I wouldn't sue the town over it. Her mouth quirked up. Not everything is about revenge. Raindrop sighed. I guess I'm just thinking about that because, well, you know, the world's largest pony who's camping out in town, demanding that I fire. She glanced out the kitchen window and wondered if Juggernaut were looking in the darkness, hoping Raindrops would go on a late-night scroll so she could challenge her to yet another duel. I didn't even want to hurt Goliath. I mean, I don't think he's a bad pony. He literally didn't understand what he was doing was wrong. I only fought him to save a bunch of lives. But all Juggernaut cares about is getting revenge because I hurt her precious little... I don't really understand her, though, said Carrot Top. If she just wanted to hurt you, why is she going through all this trouble? She could break into your house and hit you. She doesn't want to go to jail. So she does it at night when no pony's awake to see her, as he threatens to come back if you tell anybody who she was. She sipped her tea, or she hires mercenaries. I mean, Fisher's in hiding, and his factory secrets aren't doing anything right now, are they? Juggernaut could have just hired them to abduct you and drag you back to Russia. Raindrops opened her mouth to argue the point, then paused. Carrot Top's argument made sense, and if Raindrops hadn't been so stressed about Juggernaut's incessant harassment, she probably would have realized it earlier. Huh. She's probably here because of honor, continued Carrot Top. You know, you hurt my family, so I have to hurt you back to restore my family's name kind of thing. Fisher didn't hire any pony who cared about honor, said Raindrops. Well, again, it's the whole point of having his private little military. That would do whatever you want without saying things like, this might not be legal, or we might be acting like complete idiots. Carrot Top finished her cup of tea and put it down. But it's not revenge and not honor. Why did you want to fight so badly? So you wanted Apple Bloom's birthday party, right? It threatened to scare snails, but it wasn't really like she wanted. Maybe we liked it. Like she didn't even notice that she'd be hurt. I don't think he really cares that way about the other ponies in Ponyville. They're just tools to her. She wants to use them to get what she wants. She nodded. Yeah, she's not trying to be cruel. She's just really self-absorbed. Only thinks about what she wants. And her brother. Carrot Top smiled lightly. But maybe you two can bond over that. Raindrop snored. I don't want to be a pony that hurts snails. I just want to get rid of everything that's hurt him, like Juggernaut. I want to keep him safe and... Oh, her eyes widened. Oh, I get it. What? I know why Juggernaut wants to fight me. Raindrops rose. To keep Goliath safe from you, asked Carrot Top. But even if you wanted to fight Goliath again, he's in an asylum, and you couldn't get him. Raindrops shook her head, took one of the candles, blew out the others. Let's play it away. Come on, let's fight her. I want to sell this tonight. And then we... She heard a squeaking board as she passed the staircase, and pointed the candle in its direction. Snails was there. Levi perched on his dimly glowing horn. Was looking at Raindrops with a guilty expression. Raindrops! He stammered. I just woke up. I wasn't eavesdropping or anything. Carrot Top giggled and Raindrops smiled. She started towards Snails, who backed up as if afraid of being yelled at for spying. Levi hopped down into his muscle and raised his two front legs as preparing to fight Raindrops. But the weathermare just shook her head. I'm not mad, she said. In fact, you can come with. She turned. Come on back, we'll go on a trip. A trip? Breathed Snails. Raindrops stifled her laughter, knowing the concept of being outside at 2 a.m, a time when only serious, mature adults were allowed outside, would be irresistible. In a few moments, she felt Snails climb onto her back. Okay, murmured Snails as Levi buzzed back onto his horn. Ready? Raindrops pushed open the front door and let Snails, Carrot Top, and Levi outside. So it hardened to the darkness around him, and soon spied a boulder-like thing that hadn't been there before. She stepped through the front gate and approached it. Juggernaut! She called as she reached it. Let's talk! The bulky mass moved. The Juggernaut lowered her head. We do know? No, Raindrops sighed. Just sit so Snails could get a better grip on her back. I think I know why you're here, Juggernaut. I already told you why I'm here. You hurt Goliath. If you care, all you cared about was that. You could have hit me while I wasn't looking. Juggernaut snorted. How would that make Goliath not hurt? Huh? Snails crouched down over lower Raindrops and spoke directly to her ear. I don't understand, Raindrops. I do. Raindrops looked at Juggernaut. When you say I hurt Goliath, you don't just mean physically, right? I frightened him. Made him upset. Duh. Juggernaut's voice grew slightly darker. He's scared. Always very strong pony. But you beat him easy. He has nightmare. He worry you break into jail and hurt him. I tried to tell him you not do that. You only hurt him to stop him from hurting other ponies. He know, and he thankful you stop him from doing bad things. But he's still scared. Raindrops nodded. She should have seen it earlier, she thought. She spent the past couple worrying about Juggernaut hurting Snails by scaring or traumatizing him. Of course, Goliath, who had the mind of a young foal, would also be hurt. If he were convinced that the unstoppable force could show up at any time to crush him. And if you beat me, he won't be scared. I tell him he not ready. I keep him safe. He said maybe I'm not able to fight you. Juggernaut's voice cut for a moment. He my brother. I protect him. I tell him if he want, I can fight you. No sneak attack. No hit you while you not look. I prove I can beat you fair, then he know you never hurt him again. Because you know I hurt you if you try, even if you see me coming. For a long moment, no pony spoke. Raindrops glanced back and saw Snails watching with wide eyes. He reached up and wing to stroke her brother's side. She sighed and calmed slightly and turned back to Juggernaut. I understand, she said. I have a little brother too. He's the most precious pony in the world to me. If I thought something was hurting him, I'd do anything to set him straight. Do you understand? Juggernaut drew her blade. We big sisters. We shield to protect brother, and we sword to cut anything that hurt them. You hurt Goliath, now we fight Raindrops. No, then you... No, Raindrops shook her head. Like I said, I have a brother, and I thought you got hurt. If you put me in the hospital or kills me, that would hurt him too. Far worse than anything you could do to him. Snail stiffened and hugged her, and Raindrops embraced one of her wings. I know you care about your brother, Juggernaut. Please accept I care about mine. Juggernaut looked flustered. This not my problem. Snail's not my brother. Why I care if he hurt? Aye, said Snails. Raindrops thought for a moment. You don't really deal with other ponies a lot, do you? What do you mean? I mean, who are you actually friends with? You've worked with Fisher for years, right? Besides business? Juggernaut tilted her head. No, we talk when he give order. How about other factory security employees? Did you talk with them? Only to give them order. I'm professional. I not waste time in chat. What about the other workers in the factories? Pressed Raindrops. Well, I talk with them. That distract from work. Neighbors? Juggernaut sounded baffled. Of course not. Factory security, leave the factory. We have no neighbors. If we go home for the night, how we protect factory? Did you ever really talk to any pony? Duh, Juggernaut nodded. My brother. I tell him stories and show him short tricks and make him laugh. We have good laugh. Raindrops nodded. You're not used to thinking of other ponies then, except for Goliath. You see, every pony else has tools or enemies. As he heard the other matter growl softly and tense, but made herself continue. You don't hate me, or feel anything at all about me. You just see me as an obstacle, making Goliath unhappy. So I need you to do something for me. Then maybe we can find some way to make Goliath feel better. What? Asked Juggernaut in a tough voice. I need you to understand, I care about my brother just as much as you care about yours. Raindrops helped Snails down from her back and hugged him with her front legs. Snails looked surprised but returned it. Snails, you'd be upset if I got hurt, right? Of course, said Snails. I'd be really sad. You're my big sister. Raindrops nodded and held Snails close. Juggernaut, wouldn't Goliath feel the same way? When the other mare nodded, Raindrops continued. So, now, how would you feel some pony stronger than you wanted to hurt you? Let's say the tyrant's son showed up and wanted to fight. Would you give her one? Juggernaut's reaction was instinctive. She shook her head violently and said, No, I'd not let her kill me. Goliath wouldn't have his seal and sword. I know. Raindrops took a breath. Think about how hard you would try to escape from that fight. I'm going to do the same, because I love Snails just as much, if not more, than you love Goliath. I'm not going to hurt him by getting myself beaten half to death in a pointless brawl. You could stay here for the next 5 years, and I wouldn't change my mind. It was dark. But after a few moments, Raindrops could swear she saw Juggernaut's eyes gleam slightly as he thought. I see, she said after a very long moment. But then, you not say that then? No matter how many times I ask? No. But Juggernaut sounded genuinely distressed. Raindrops was willing to bet that the massive mare wasn't used to being denied. Then how do I make Goliath better? She demanded. He sleep bad. He barely eat. He's very scared you hit him again. If I not fight you because Snails become sad, how I showed him I'm stronger than you. Raindrops smiled as he finished that working our plan. Again, there's more ponies around than just us. She turned to Carrot Top. Strong ponies for a competition to clear a field? Then yes, but we need two. Carrot Top trailed as he glanced between them. Oh, she smiled. Yes, that could be. I not understand, said Juggernaut. What do you suggest? A challenge, said Raindrops. It's a way to see which of us is stronger without killing each other. That look how Goliath, right? Duh. Juggernaut hurried to keep up. I think so. He will solve your problem too, said Raindrops, turning to Carrot Top. And lastly, she looked to her side where Snails was trying along. You're getting to see your big sister be awesome, she said. Happy? Colt nodded. And you won't get hurt, right? He frowned. His wheel crawled out of his mane to give his muscle a little strong hug. I'd be sorry if you're gonna hurt. I won't. Raindrops smiled as he advanced down the road, draped one wing over his shoulder. And neither will you. I promise. Okay, let me preface this. This is a really good compromise. It works well with not only the Lunaverse universe, but it works well with the themes of MLP. I could totally see Applejack or Rainbow Dash pulling this off in an episode of the series itself to avoid a fight. It's a good message and a good moral. There. Now that I preface that, I would like to just say one little thing. I've been blue-balled!